Magudumana is applying for bail in Bloemfontein after 4 months in prison. She's also trying to appeal the dismissal of her application to have her arrest declared unlawful. Magudumana is one of 12 accused of helping Thabo Bester escape. But in a recent statement, she claimed emotional and sexual abuse by powerful government and business figures. eNCA senior reporter Silindelo Masikane joins us with the very latest outside court. And Slee, good to have you back. I think earlier on when you had a conversation with our legal expert, interestingly saying that it might be a tough run here for Nandipha Magudumana to be granted bail because she might perhaps be seen as a flight risk.
Those are, I think, the expectations that we're expecting to see in terms of the arguments that are going to be put forward by the state. We do know that they are going to be opposing her bail application, and we had an opportunity to try and doorstop her legal team, Dr. Nandipha's legal team, when they arrived, but they're also keeping their cards quite close to their chest, not wanting to divulge exactly what their strategy is going to be. So at this stage, we don't know whether she will be called as a witness in her own bail application, or maybe she'll be leading evidence through an affidavit. But at this point, we are inside the courtroom where we are expecting the proceedings to take place, and you can see that the state prosecutor who will be leading the opposition of her bail application has arrived. He is also preparing himself, and interestingly enough as well, when you look towards the gallery, you don't exactly see anyone from Magudumana's family that has arrived as of yet. So it's still quite early. We haven't begun as yet. So perhaps some of her family members would be arriving at any point. So we will be looking out for any family members to be arriving. And of course, her arrival herself from the holding cells. But I'm joined by an Action SA representative, the chairperson here in Bloemfontein, Ms. Patricia Kopane. Thank you so much for your time. You have been at almost every appearance pertaining to this matter. Maybe just talk to me about the expectations as Action SA. You've laid charges as well in terms of what's happened with Katlego Bereng's body being used as a decoy for Thabo Bester's escape. But I expect you, as a political party that's taken an interest in this matter, don't want to see Dr. Nandipha receiving bail.
Definitely. The reason why we're here to make sure that we monitor the entire process, and we do believe that Dr. Magudumana must not be given bail. She must remain behind bars, because if you remember very well, she's still accused of being one of the people who make sure that Thabo escape from prison. So we don't believe that she must be outside. She must remain behind bars, and we do believe the entire process, she doesn't respect South African people. She doesn't even respect the family of Katlego, who lost their own child. They were supposed to be here, but unfortunately, I spoke with Monica. She clearly says, Patricia, I'm not going to make it. Can you please be there on our behalf? I spoke with the father even yesterday evening. They are not going to be here today. That's why you don't see them in a gallery. But I do believe that let's our justice system do what they're supposed to do. That's all that we are hoping for. Because if she can be given the bail, it's going to be an insult in front of law-abiding citizens of this country.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that is Ms. Patricia Kopane from Action SA, just giving us her sentiments. Also here representing the Bereng family. Of course, you would remember that Katlego Bereng was the body that was used to aid this escape. It was found in Thabo Bester's cell, and of course we are expecting that her lawyers, Dr. Nandipha's lawyers, will also be putting forward an argument in terms of why she should be granted bail. She is facing Schedule 5 offences, but she's a first-time offender. She has no previous convictions, but that issue around her being a flight risk may come into sharp focus. Let's just take a listen to some of the legal analysis we received this morning.
So the first time around, Slee, they obviously tried to get the ruling from the High Court in their favour to declare her detention unlawful, which would have meant the bail issue would have been a non-issue as she would have been released. That having failed, she now is only left with the option of applying for bail. Now, we know that the prison officials, some of them got bail, but we know that in respect of herself, the state is going to oppose bail. So I would really be surprised if the court does grant a bail, having regard to the nature of the offence, having regard to the gravity thereof, and of course the extent to which people went to evade justice here. The fact that they went to another country, they went through our border control areas, they apparently there was issues with the passports. So there's a number of things that the court would highlight to illustrate how easy it is for this person to flee should he be granted bail.
I mean, Slee, you could definitely, also attribute to the fact that this comes at the back of Nandipha also lamenting over and above what she calls an invalid and unconstitutional arrest out in Tanzania. But she's further, elaborated on what she calls the treatment that she has received at the correctional facility, calling it a painful experience that she has not only, experienced herself, but has also witnessed from other women and inmates at the correctional facility inside her statement through her lawyers. So this comes to the back of her lamenting continuously how she has been treated out in Kroonstad.
You would see me looking at my phone. I am trying to bring up that particular statement so I can actually quote it verbatim in terms of the accusations that she's made in this letter. It is quite a lengthy statement, but she, begins by saying that she's wanting to share this communication with the world because not only does she want to remind her daughters that she misses them quite greatly, but she believes that she's being held illegally at the prison in Kroonstad. A very interesting paragraph, if I may read from it, is that she says, "The many painful times I have suffered physical, emotional, financial and sexual abuse at the hands of powerful men, including some of the most powerful and prominent families in South Africa currently occupying the highest offices in government and business. My painful experience at the correctional facility includes the plight of women inmates and the violation of their human rights. The merits concerning the allegations against me and the events which transpired in Tanzania are currently before the courts and will also be addressed at a more appropriate time."
Apologies, we have to move to the